Let me tell you about a patient I'll call Theodore, 73 years old, retired civil engineer from upstate New York. He was the kind of senior who did everything right, walked 2 miles every morning, watched his diet, took his blood pressure medication every day without fail. His cholesterol numbers were excellent. Now, Theodore had one chronic issue, arthritis in his hands and knees. For years, he had been taking 2 Advil tablets every morning and another 2 at night, just for the pain, he told his doctor, just to get through the day. On a Saturday afternoon in June, while pushing his lawnmower across his front yard, Theodore felt a strange pressure in his chest. He sat down. He waited for it to pass. It did not pass. His wife called 911. By the time he reached the emergency room, he had suffered a moderate heart attack. Theodore survived. But what stunned his cardiologist, and what stunned me when his case was shared with me, was that Theodore's coronary arteries were not significantly blocked. There was no major plaque rupture. There was no event you would expect from his risk profile. So what triggered his heart attack? It was the medication he had been taking every single day for over a decade for his arthritis. The medication that everyone in his life had assured him was safe because it was sold over the counter. I'm Dr. Marcus Okoro. I'm a heart surgeon, and I have spent 2 decades operating on patients exactly like Theodore. People who did everything right and still ended up on my surgical table because of one ingredient quietly hiding in their daily routine. Today, I'm going to walk you through 6 common medications, both prescription and over-the-counter, that significantly raise your heart attack risk after 60. I will rank them from least dangerous to most dangerous. Stay with me to number 1, because number 1 is in millions of American medicine cabinets right now, and almost nobody understands what it is actually doing to their heart. Before I begin, I want to be very clear. I am not telling you to stop any of your medications. Please do not do that without talking to your physician. What I am telling you is that you deserve to know what is going into your body, and you deserve to advocate for yourself in the doctor's office. Knowledge is not dangerous. Silence is. Number 6, proton pump inhibitors. You may know them by brand names like Prilosec, Nexium, Protonix, or Prevacid. These are medications prescribed for acid reflux and heartburn, and millions of seniors take them every single day, often for years or even decades. For a long time, these medications were considered extremely safe. The newer research is changing that picture. Studies published in the journal Circulation and the BMJ have now linked long-term use of proton pump inhibitors to a measurable increase in cardiovascular events, including heart attack and stroke. The proposed mechanism involves changes to the endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels, that may accelerate the stiffening process that drives atherosclerosis. A large study tracking nearly 300,000 adults found a 16 to 21% higher rate of heart attack in long-term proton pump inhibitor users compared to those using alternative acid-reducing medications. The takeaway is not to panic. If you need acid suppression, you may need it. The takeaway is that nobody should stay on these medications indefinitely without periodic review. Talk to your doctor about whether you still need it, whether you can taper to a lower dose, or whether you can transition to an H2 blocker like famotidine, brand name Pepcid, which carries a more favorable cardiovascular profile. Address the lifestyle drivers too. Smaller meals, no eating within 3 hours of bed, slight head of bed elevation. These are not magic, but together they reduce the need for the pill. Number 5, over-the-counter decongestants. Pseudoephedrine, sold as Sudafed, phenylephrine, found in countless cold and flu products. The D added to the end of common allergy medication names, Claritin D, Allegra D, Zyrtec D, that D stands for decongestant. Millions of seniors take these without a second thought every winter and every allergy season. Here is what they are doing inside your body. Decongestants work by constricting blood vessels in your nasal passages, which relieves stuffiness. But your blood vessels do not exist only in your nose. The same drug that constricts your nasal vessels also constricts the blood vessels in your heart and your brain. The American Heart Association has issued formal warnings recommending that adults with high blood pressure or coronary artery disease either avoid decongestants entirely or use them only under medical supervision. A single dose of pseudoephedrine can raise systolic blood pressure by 10 to 20 points in a senior with hypertension. In a vessel that is already narrowed by years of atherosclerosis, that constriction can be the trigger that pushes a vulnerable plaque past its limit. If you have high blood pressure, heart disease, or any cardiovascular history at all, do not take any cold or flu product with D in the name without first checking with your pharmacist. There are safer alternatives: saline nasal sprays, steam inhalation, antihistamines without the decongestant. Your stuffy nose is not worth a heart attack. Number 4, testosterone replacement therapy. This one is going to surprise some of you. because testosterone replacement has been marketed very aggressively to men over 50 for the past 15 years. Low T, the ads call it. Tired, lower libido, less energy. Try this gel, this injection, this patch. The marketing has worked. Hundreds of thousands of older American men are now on prescription testosterone replacement. Here is what the research actually shows. The testosterone trials published in the New England Journal of Medicine and several follow-up studies in JAMA have documented a real and measurable increase in cardiovascular events, including heart attack and stroke, in older men using testosterone replacement therapy compared to placebo. The mechanism appears to involve elevated red blood cell count, which thickens the blood, combined with effects on plaque stability and blood pressure. The FDA now requires a warning label on all testosterone products specifically about cardiovascular risk. If you are on testosterone replacement and you are over 60, have a real conversation with your prescribing physician about whether your testosterone levels are actually clinically low, or whether the prescription was based on age-related normal decline. The first is a genuine medical indication. The second is, in my view, often a marketing decision dressed up as medicine. Ask for a hematocrit blood test to check your red blood cell concentration. Ask about your specific cardiovascular risk profile. There may be safer ways to address energy and vitality concerns that do not put your heart in jeopardy. Number 3. Long-term oral corticosteroids. Prednisone is the one most people recognize, but the category includes methylprednisolone, dexamethasone, and others. These medications are sometimes prescribed for arthritis, autoimmune conditions, COPD flares, and chronic inflammatory diseases. Used short-term, they are often appropriate and necessary. Used chronically, they create a cascade of cardiovascular problems. Long-term prednisone causes fluid retention, which raises blood pressure. It elevates blood sugar, which damages blood vessels. It accelerates the breakdown of muscle while increasing fat storage in dangerous places, including around the heart. It thins the protective layer of bone and increases the risk of falls. And critically, it has been associated in multiple large studies with a notable increase in heart attack risk that scales with both daily dose and total duration of use. A landmark study in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that adults on long-term oral corticosteroids had a 2.5-fold increase in cardiovascular events compared to matched controls. If you have been on prednisone or a similar oral steroid for more than 3 months, please ask your specialist whether a steroid-sparing alternative exists for your condition. Modern rheumatology and pulmonology have many newer agents that achieve similar control with far less systemic damage. Before we get to numbers 2 and 1, let me ask you something. Of the 4 medications we have just covered, are any of them in your own daily routine right now? Type the number in the comments below. 6, 5, 4, or 3, whichever applies to you. I read every single comment. And if this video is opening your eyes, please hit the like button right now. That one tap helps YouTube push this out to more seniors who need to hear it. Number 2, erectile dysfunction medications taken with nitrates. I'm putting this at number 2 not because the medications themselves are inherently dangerous, but because the combination is one of the most acutely deadly drug interactions in modern medicine, and it happens far more often than people realize. The medications in question are sildenafil, brand name Viagra, and tadalafil, brand name Cialis. The interaction is with any form of nitrate medication. Nitroglycerin tablets, nitroglycerin patches, isosorbide, or any of the long-acting nitrate medications commonly prescribed for chest pain or angina. When a man takes a nitrate for chest pain and then takes Viagra or Cialis within a 24-hour window, the 2 medications combine to cause a sudden, severe, often catastrophic drop in blood pressure. The blood pressure can fall so fast and so far that the heart is starved of oxygen, which can trigger a fatal heart attack within minutes. Emergency rooms see this every weekend. The patient is rushed in unconscious. The family is shocked. The cause is often not discovered until autopsy, when the medication history is reconstructed. If you take any nitrate medication for chest pain or any cardiac condition, you must never take Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, or any similar ED medication without an explicit clearance from a cardiologist. If you take ED medications and your doctor prescribes a nitrate for chest pain, tell the prescriber immediately. There are alternative cardiac medications that do not interact this way. Communication between specialists is the single thing that prevents this tragedy. And finally, number 1, the most dangerous and most underestimated heart attack-raising medication in millions of American medicine cabinets right now. Daily non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs. This is the category that includes Ibuprofen, sold as Advil or Motrin, naproxen, sold as Aleve, diclofenac, sold as Voltaren or Cataflam, celecoxib, sold as Celebrex. These medications are taken every day by tens of millions of seniors for arthritis, back pain, joint pain, headaches, and general aches. Most people consider them perfectly safe because most of them are sold over the counter. The FDA does not consider them safe. In 2015, the FDA issued one of its strongest warnings ever on the entire NSAID class, requiring labels to state explicitly that these medications increase the risk of heart attack and stroke, even with short-term use, and even in patients with no prior history of heart disease. The risk is not small. A meta-analysis published in the BMJ examined data from over 400,000 patients and found that daily use of high-dose ibuprofen was associated with approximately a 30% increased risk of major cardiovascular events. Diclofenac was associated with a more than 40% increase. Naproxen, while safer than ibuprofen on cardiovascular outcomes, still carries meaningful risk in combination with other medications. The mechanism is well understood. NSAIDs raise blood pressure. They cause fluid retention, they damage the kidneys, which then worsens blood pressure further, and they alter the balance of clotting factors in the blood. In a senior with already narrowed coronary arteries, all four of these effects together can become the precise trigger that converts a stable, manageable cardiovascular condition into a heart attack. Theodore, the patient at the start of this video, had been taking 4 Advil tablets a day for over a decade. His cardiologist eventually concluded that his daily NSAID use was the most likely single trigger for the heart attack he survived. And here is the multiplier I want you to understand. If you take a daily NSAID and you also take a blood pressure medication, those two medications often work against each other in your kidneys, what doctors call the triple whammy when paired with a third common medication like a diuretic. The risk compounds. For chronic pain relief, talk to your doctor about safer alternatives. Acetaminophen, brand name Tylenol, is significantly safer for the heart, though it has its own liver considerations. Topical NSAID gels like diclofenac gel deliver the medication to the painful joint without putting the same systemic burden on your cardiovascular system. Physical therapy, weight management, and gentle daily movement often outperform daily pills for chronic joint pain. And if you do need an NSAID occasionally, take the lowest possible dose for the shortest possible time. Let me bring this together. 6 medications that may be quietly raising your heart attack risk right now. Proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux. Over-the-counter decongestants, testosterone replacement therapy, long-term oral corticosteroids, erectile dysfunction medications combined with nitrates, and the most common of all, daily over-the-counter NSAIDs like ibuprofen, naproxen, and diclofenac. Here is your action plan. 3 concrete steps you can take this week. Step 1. Tonight, write down every single thing you take, prescription, over-the-counter, and any medication you take only occasionally, including the cold and flu products and the painkillers in your medicine cabinet. Step 2. Take that list to your next doctor appointment and use this exact phrase. I would like to review my full medication list specifically for cardiovascular risk. A good physician will respect the request and walk through it with you. Step 3. If you are on chronic NSAIDs, please ask about alternatives this week, not next month. Of all 6 medications on this list, NSAIDs are the easiest to swap out and the most often overlooked. If this video helped you, please do 2 things for me. First, share it on Facebook right now and tag one person you love who takes daily Advil or daily Aleve for arthritis or back pain. You may be giving them a piece of information that saves their life. Second, please subscribe to this channel. I'm a heart surgeon. I post a new video every week with the kind of honest, evidence-based health information I share with my own cardiac patients. Things most people never hear in a 15-minute appointment. A final note before I close. Everything I shared today is general health education, based on published medical research from the FDA, the American Heart Association, and major peer-reviewed medical journals. It is not a substitute for personal medical advice. Never stop or change any prescription medication based on a YouTube video. Please discuss any changes with your own physician before making them. I am Dr. Marcus Okoro. Take care of those vessels and that heart. I will see you in the next video.